What's up guys, Jeff Cavalier, ATHLEAN-X.com. Have you ever noticed that you can bounce back from a layoff, whether it be from being sick, maybe injured, just taking some time away from the gym, maybe got demotivated, a little lazy. The fact of the matter is you're able to bounce back because of something called muscle memory and see your gains come back a lot faster than when you built them up in the first place. That has everything to do with my 4 dogs. Let me explain what I'm talking about. So I have a yard here, and I have 4 dogs. I've talked about them before. 4 black labs, okay? And they like to run, and I gotta make sure that I keep my eyes on them because if I don't, one can get away from me, as it had happened to me yesterday. Now, here's the fact of the matter is, if they stay over here, 1 dog, 2 dogs, 3 dogs, 4 dogs, and I stay over here, I can watch them really easily and keep my eye on all of them. No one's getting away from me. So I have 2 options now to make sure that I can do that. I can either fence off the yard now and just make sure that I never have to worry about that and they don't get a chance to cover any more ground, or I can not worry about putting the fence up and I can get another me. I can get somebody that can come and help me to watch this half, and they can now expand the amount of ground that these guys can cover. So I can get someone like Jesse to do this, right? Jesse's not editing the videos, he can work on this. The fact of the matter is, our muscles operate the same way. Come on, swipe for me, baby. There we go. The muscles operate in the same way. We have a muscle fiber, and the muscle fiber covers a certain amount of ground. Attached to the muscle fiber are satellite cells, okay? These aren't dogs, these are satellite cells. And they donate something called the myonuclei, which is going to allow this cell to become larger. And it's brought upon by stress. So your ability to bring in these myonuclei is brought upon by muscle stress. So training hard, changing up your workouts, making sure that all those stressors that create muscle growth and damage in the first place are there. So now we have this. Ultimately though, as the muscle fiber gets bigger, as the yard gets bigger, these 4 myonuclei cannot regulate that size of that muscle fiber anymore. They reach a maximum limit. It gets to the maximum limit. It's called the myonuclei domain. At that point, you have only one option to get bigger. Your muscles won't grow any bigger than that. The only option is to bring in more. So if I had 2 more, well now all of a sudden the fiber can get bigger so that now those 6 can kind of oversee that entire size of that muscle fiber. All right, now here's the cool part about what happens here. When we talk about muscle memory, when we lose muscle size, because we do, you see it, you experience it, you get sick, you get smaller. I lost like 12 pounds the last time I had the flu. Your muscle fibers might get smaller because metabolically it's sort of a waste to have them be really big and demanding if you're not using them. But you won't lose the myonuclei that you had added and accrued from your hard training and stress. So now this has the capacity to be this, but they're just not being used at the moment. So it's gotten smaller, but as soon as you start training again, this can bounce back to this size much, much quicker. The same way that if I had Jesse and it rained for 5 days in a row, I wouldn't fire his ass. I'd keep him around and have him edit the videos, right? Because Jesse's a good kid. So what we do is we have Jesse to be able to do that, and as soon as it stops raining, the dogs want to go back outside and run again, he's there and he's able to do that, and they don't have any restrictions on the amount of ground that they can cover, or the amount of ground that your muscles can cover. Okay, so now what does this mean? Especially as New Year's comes around the corner here, it means everything. Number one, we have a lot of different category of people. If you're somebody that's never trained at all before, right? You don't have the accumulation of these sitting around. However, it's pretty damn easy to get them because everything is a stress. Everything you do, bending over to tie your shoes is like a squat, for crying out loud. You start seeing size gains in your legs because you're doing something you've never done before. So your ability to start building up the myonuclei is actually really easy for you. And you don't have something that the guys that are more experienced deal with, and that is that need to continually overcome that repeated bouts of exercise phenomenon. The fact that we keep doing the same thing over and over again, it gets harder and harder to stress a muscle out. So that's the first thing. So if you never did anything before, you should be excited about New Year's, getting ready to head out there and start training. The next category is the guy who maybe trained in the past, but hasn't trained in a long time. Life got in the way. Something got in the way of him actually training, and now he needs to get back into it. Well, good. Maybe your muscles have gotten small because you haven't used them, but you still have the results of your hard work, likely the myonuclei are still there in place so that you're going to be able to bounce back and see results a lot faster than you maybe thought. So you should be encouraged by that. And for the other guys, the guys that have been banging away at it time and time again, year after year, never miss an off day, never doing it, guys, understand that you're not going to lose your gains, okay? It takes a long time to lose these guys, right? They all stay in place here. It takes a long time. So if you're feeling a little bit burned out, take a little time off to recharge yourself so that you can get ready and excited about the New Year's so you can start attacking your workouts with a new amount of energy. All right, guys, so that's it. Hopefully this little refresher on muscle memory is encouraging above all else. Why? Because you've got no excuses. It's time to hit the gym no matter what stage of the game you're in and get yourself in line for some new gains. If you found the video helpful, make sure you leave your comments and thumbs up below. Whatever else you want to see, make sure you leave that below so I can see that and try to do my best to make a video on it in the coming weeks. If you're looking for a program to change it up, remember, you got to always find ways to stress your body. Don't keep doing the same things over and over and over and over again, expecting new results. You got to change it up. Head to ATHLEAN-X.com. We have plenty of programs to address your specific concerns and your goals. All right, guys, I'll be back again soon. See you.